Hey y'all, I'm Roberta, and today we're going to be learning about 2.2 more graphs and displays. And there are three main parts to this chapter: graphing quantitative data sets, graphing qualitative data sets, and graphing paired data sets. Who's excited?
The following are the number of times that each of Sally Barnhart's goats poop per week: 51, 49, 68, 44, 57, 53, 66, 70, 39, 54, 70, 42, 61, 73, 58, 69, 43, 56, 45, 55, 32, 50, 57, 41. Construct a stem and leaf plot and display the data. Interpret the results.
Okay, y'all, so for the first part of this, we're going to be graphing quantitative data sets. And one way to do this is to use a stem and leaf plot. And in a stem and leaf plot, each number is separated by a stem, the entry's leftmost digits, and a leaf, the entry's rightmost digits. And we're going to input those now. And when you do a stem and a leaf plot, you should have as many leaves as there are in the original data set, and the leaves should be single digits. Okay, so here's our data set each number represents one goat and how many times that goat poops per week. Okay, and these goats are from Sally's farm. All right, so pay attention, y'all, because this is a really neat way to organize our data. Okay, so for instance, we start with 51, 49, 68, 44, 57, 53. And here is our finished stem and leaf plot with all of our data, okay? And so now it's time for us to interpret our results. So as you can see, of all of Sally's goats, typically they poop mostly about 50-ish or so times a week, usually between 40 and 60 times a week, with a couple little, lower numbers like 39, 32, 70, 73. Those are a little bit high, but typically the most of our data falls within 40 and 60, with a lot ranging in the 50s.
The following numbers represent the ages of the horses on Sally Barnhart's farm: 21, 32, 27, 7, 11, 18, 23, 19, 27, 25, 14, 30, 4, 31, 15, 28, 26, 16. Construct a dot plot to organize the data above and interpret the results.
Okay, y'all, so another way that we can graph quantitative data sets is through dot plots. And in a dot plot, each entry is plotted using a point above a horizontal axis, okay? And so this allows you to see data as distributed, determine specific data entries, and identifies unusual data values, okay? So here's our data, okay? So what we're trying to find out is we're trying to look at the different ages of the horses on Sally Barnhart's farm, okay? And so what we're going to do is we're going to plot the different numbers. So 21, 32, 27, 7, 11, 18. Okay, y'all, so here is our finished dot plot, all right? And these are all the different ages of Sally's horses on the farm, okay? And so what we can see from this data is that the ages of Sally's horses are very spread out. She doesn't have a lot that are just in one sort of age group, like a lot that are 15, a lot that are 21. We do have two repeaters right here that are both 27. We have two horses that are 27. But overall, pretty much all the horses are of different ages, okay? So this is what our data tells us based on this dot plot. Okay, y'all, so now we're going to move on to how to graph qualitative data, okay? But before we do that, I want to talk briefly about pie charts. You know, they are a convenient way to present qualitative data graphically as percents of a whole, but we're not going to spend too much time on them. All you really need to know is that a pie chart is a circle divided into sectors that represent categories, okay? And the area of each sector is proportional to the frequency of each category, okay, y'all? Thank you so much.
Sally Barnhart's farm is home to several animals: 76 chickens, 58 dairy cows, 24 goats, 18 horses, 7 cats. Construct a Pareto chart to organize the data. Interpret the results.
Okay, y'all, so next we're going to talk about Pareto charts, all right? So a Pareto chart is another way to represent qualitative data. And a Pareto chart is a vertical bar graph in which the height of each bar represents frequency or relative frequency, okay? And so the bars are positioned in order of decreasing height, with the most tallest bar positioned at the very utmost left, okay, y'all? So this helps highlight important data and frequently is used in the business world, okay? But today, we're going to use it to organize and look at the different animals and the different number of said animals on Sally's farm, all right, y'all? So we're going to start, again, we're going to start with the highest number, okay? So Sally has 76 chickens, okay? She has 76 chickens. Okay, y'all? So what we're going to do is we're going to draw this line. I'm going to go all the way up. Oh, that's a little too much up. Okay, y'all? So 76. Okay, and then we're going to come down here and label it chickens. Just like that. Yeah. And so then Sally has 58 dairy cows. Okay, so we're going to come all the way over here. And we're going to stop at about right here, okay? And this is going to be cows. All right, y'all? Moo. Like cows. Dairy cattle. Cows, they're the same thing. So here is our Pareto chart, okay? So animals, number of animals. Okay, y'all, so here's our Pareto chart, and if we interpret these results, we can see that clearly there are tons and tons of chickens, okay, so many chickens, and there's a lot of dairy cows as well, you know, just a small number of goats, couple horses, very few cats, okay, very few cats, all right, y'all, so that's what we can interpret from the results, is that there are a lot of chickens, a lot of cows, you know, not so many goats, horses, or cats, okay? Again, I cannot stress this enough. There are a lot of chickens.
Sally Barnhart has 10 employees working on her farm. Each employee's length of employment and salary have been organized in the table below. Graph the data from the table above with a scatter plot. What can you conclude about the relationship between length of employment and salary?
Okay, y'all, so for the last part of our lesson, we're going to be talking about paired data sets, all right, y'all? So when each entry in one data set corresponds to one entry in a second data set, the sets are called paired data sets. And one way to graph paired data sets is to use a scatter plot, okay, scatter. And that is where the ordered pairs are graphed as points in a coordinate plane, and they're used to show the relationship between two quantitative variables. Okay, y'all? So, for this problem, we're doing the 10 employees on Sally's farm, their salaries, and the length of time that they have been employed. Okay? So, first employee has been working for 2 years, and he makes about $22,000. Okay, second employee, right here, y'all, has been working for 7 years and makes $32,000 a year. Okay, so we go up here to 7 years, and we go to about right here. Okay, maybe a little bit lower than that, I think, you know. And then this employee's only been working for half a year, and so they're going to pull out right here, and they only make $10,000 a year, okay? And then the next employee has been working 3 years and makes about $24,000 a year, okay? So we're going to put him about right there. Okay, y'all, so here is our finished scatter plot, and if we interpret these results, we can clearly see that length of employment is directly related to how much a person working at Sally Barnhart's farm makes per year. So the longer you've worked at Sally's farm, the more that you make. Okay, so for instance, if you've only been working for like a year, you're making about $20,000. Whereas if you've been working for 9 years, you're making about $36,000, which, you know, for me is nothing to sneeze at.
Between 2009 and 2011, many of Sally Barnhart's dairy cows succumbed to mad cow disease. The table below lists the number of calves born per year on Sally Barnhart's farm from the years 2007 through 2017. Construct a time series chart from your data in the table above. Interpret your results.
Okay, y'all, last thing really quick on paired data sets. Last thing for 2.2, okay? So, a data set that is composed of quantitative entries taken at regular intervals over a period of time is called a time series. And you can use a time series chart to graph a time series. So that's exactly what we're going to do, okay? So, for the past 10 years, per year, this is the number of calves that have been born, okay? But again, you know, as we've been told, between 2009 and 2011, some of these cows got really sick, okay? So we're going to see what happens to the birth numbers via this chart when it is on those years that those cows got sick, okay? So for instance, we'll start with 2007, okay? Super easy, 40 baby cows were born, okay? 2008, similar number, 38-ish. I'm going to move this over just a little bit. You know, it's very important to be accurate, y'all. 38, 2009, first year babies start getting sick, we go down, okay? We go all the way down to about 21, okay? Look at that drop, y'all. That is just bad news. Okay, y'all, so what we learned from this time series chart is that, you know, the number of calves born per year on Ruth Barnhart's farm stays about even, you know, between 35 or so and about 45, mostly around the 40s, you know. But in 2009, 2010, and 2011, when the cows got really sick, okay, the number of baby cows born on Ruth's farm decreased by, you know, just tens of numbers. So, y'all, basically what that means is you got to get your cows vaccinated, okay? Because we need more baby calves. They're just as cute as can be, okay? Thank y'all so much. I'm Roberta. Thanks for joining me as we look very closely at the life of Sally Barnhart and the animals on her farm.